Okay, I decided to analyze Albert.io, which is an online learning platform for grades 5 through 12. It takes standards aligned practices and assessments and creates immediate feedback for students and data for the teacher along the way. So I'm just going to give a little tour. So this is what it looks like. Over on the side, you can choose your grade. So I teach 9th grade biology, so I would pick my grade level, and then I would pick science, and then you have standardized tests, AP tests, core content, or state exams. I typically choose state exams, and then we are a Keystone tested subject. My kids do take a standardized test. It has them broken down by standard. So each question is going to look something like this. You can then assign the entire topic to students, or you can save them like this to your own personal folder and then add them to whatever assessments you'd like. You have your own classes. Mine aren't totally set up yet, but that's okay. And when you go into view class, you have all of the assignments that you assign to them, and it's going to show you individual data for each thing. So this is going to be student data where I can see how the students performed individually, or I can go question by question and see how the class performed. So I don't have too much data right now, but right off the bat, I'm noticing this question, we're having a large percentage of them not get it correct. So I know now that that's a topic that I need to go back and address with my students. I really like it because it's very user-friendly. You have access to a large question bank, so you can pull questions from other states, and you have access to all the standards for every state. Students get on-the-spot feedback, so either after they finish the question or after they finish the entire assignment, it'll go back and it'll tell them what the right answers were and why the answer was right and why the other choices were wrong, which is really nice. It also provides really good multi-dimensional data analysis, so I can look at question by question, standard by standard, student by student, all of those different ways to be able to kind of draw conclusions from my data. So analyzing our Albert.io on the 5 keys to classroom assessment quality, I kind of did this on like a check, X, or somewhere in the middle. So our X's, it doesn't really control for bias. They have access to the internet. That's going to be hard with any sort of online platform. And then peer feedback, there is no built-in peer feedback option. I think that would be a really cool addition though. Places where it's kind of are going to all fall in the same similar category. Feedback, self-assessment, and goal setting. And tracking their progress, they're given the tools to do this, but it's not built into the platform. So they're given the tools to review their own personal data, look at the feedback they're given. But if you want them to then assess themselves on their progress or set a goal for a future assignment, that is something that will have to be encouraged by the teacher because it's not built in directly to the program. The rest of them are falling pretty good. So sound design, it matches the learning targets with high-quality questions representative of the learning. They are standards-aligned questions and going specifically to mimic state exams or standardized tests. And so they are high-quality, going to meet the mark with the learning target, and you get to pick which questions you want inside your assignment. Formative use, yep, so I use this formatively. I use this to check further understanding because they receive immediate feedback, they can review individual questions, and then to kind of guide your next steps then, I can look at this and think, okay, these 5 students really struggled with this content area. I'm going to pull them for a small group, and we're going to go over this specific section. Or maybe this group did really well with this set of questions. I'm going to give them now an extension question to further their learning. Or maybe the entire class did really bad on this part, so I know that is something I really need to review. So it's really good to be able to kind of inform your next decisions. And then keeping track of information is really easy. It has that data section that has everything there. You can look at it individual, class, questions, standards-based, whatever you want, and it'll keep a running data log for the entire year.